Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Mac here, playing Doom the Dark Ages. Welcome back with the 100% walkthrough. We're going to start with Mission 4 now, which is a pretty typical linear style mission. Mission 5 and 6 will end up being kind of open world missions, but this one is a little shorter and a little more streamlined. We'll be introduced into a couple of new weapons, into a couple of new game mechanics, including mission challenges. So to start the mission, walk forward and go into the large room here where we will be introduced into mission challenges. Now, Mission 4 has some pretty easy mission challenges, but you'll want to complete these in order to earn gold and other upgrade currencies. You can pin the challenges to your main screen as well. And in this case, we'll need to kill 40 demons, find 150 gold, and execute a 3-hit combo 3 different times called Prize Fighter, and that's what I'll actually pin to the left side of the screen, just so we can keep track of it. As soon as you are done with kind of figuring out mission challenges, let's go ahead and go into the next room, where we will find the Skullcrusher Pulverizer, which is a very cool and fun weapon that allows you to shoot in a very wide arc. It's great for fodder enemy types, but it doesn't do a heck of a lot of damage, and not a lot of the areas are designed for this type of weapon. So as fun and as cool as it is not one of the more useful weapons, in my opinion, if you want to actually kind of be competitive and good at the game. We're going to work on Prize Fighter kind of right out of the gate, making sure we can get a couple of those 3-hit melee combos, and we should be able to rip and tear our way to 40 enemies taken out pretty easily and pretty quickly in this first room. Just take out everything you can, and you will be done pretty soon. As we've come to learn, as soon as we're done with the arena, go ahead and pick up any health, armor, ammo before leaving. Now that the doors are open and available to you, you'll end up heading out of the gate towards your main objective, coming up a curved staircase, and at the top of that staircase, there will be a mancubus that spawns with shields. So we'll need to take those shields off by superheating them using our saw throw ability in order to knock those shields off. For this enemy, I would recommend doing a couple of parries to quickly and effectively damage those shields, knock those shields off, stun it with your saw, and I'm already done with the Prize Fighter challenge, but we have a lot more chances to do it if you are not quite done it yet. But work towards taking out that mancubus, which will despawn all of the enemies as well. And you may notice a couple of pieces of gold. We're going to ignore them for now, instead heading towards the objective inside of the building. We'll take out the first 2 rows of enemies just so they don't bother us here. But as soon as we enter into the building, instead of going to the end of the hall, go to the left and through the breakable wall here. You'll land on a bunch of pieces of gold. You'll find a secret area, and this will also, I believe, link you back to where we came from originally. So pick up all of the gold pieces and pick up the collectible toy, which is the Hell Knight. The Hell Knight is the kind of annoying enemy that stomps and hits you. You'll need to parry them. We learned how to parry them, I believe, in Mission 2. As we exit and head up the stairs, we will pick up 3 more pieces of gold, connecting us back to where we kind of started. And now we can head down the rest of the hallway, taking out the shield enemies and the mancubus at the end of the hallway, trying to keep as much of our armor and health as possible. As we come around the corner here, you may notice some pieces of gold above. We have to ignore those temporarily. Instead, go towards this kind of middle room. There is a button we can step on. We're going to ignore it. Instead, head to the other hallway on the opposite side using your shield saw in order to boost yourself up to this ledge. Once on this ledge, you can grab a couple of pieces of gold and then drop down behind a gate, and then you can knock the box through there, and that'll allow you a jump up to those pieces of gold we noticed earlier. Here, just jump up, grab the 3 small pieces, grab the secret area automatically by being here, melee the chest to get 50 more gold, and now that you are ready, we can head over to the button and press it in order to call the elevator. Once you do call the elevator, use your shield saw in order to break the seal and head forward, jumping up into the next area. As we clamber up this wall, we'll do a quick little check of our menu. So I do have the prize fighter done, rip and tear done, and I've been working towards plunderer. But for our secrets, we're at 2 out of 6, 80 out of 212 gold, and then we're able to continue. Now, personally, I found that the Pulverizer is a pretty useful weapon for this upcoming encounter, but you will want to parry when possible. Using your triple 3-hit melee combo isn't very effective against Hell Knights, unfortunately, so you might want to save some of your melee charges for later if you're still working towards that. Take care of the enemies and go into the next room. In the next room, a bunch of enemies will just kind of automatically start attacking you, and you'll want to take care of all of them. As you do, once you finish it up, the exit will open for you. You do not want to exit as it's a point of no return, and there are a couple of secrets. You'll notice that the kind of roof above your head opens up, but you can't actually grab this sigil. Instead, what you want to do is locate the door on the left of the hallway if you're coming in from where we started. And here there is a small lever. You can pull that lever to open up a door, revealing 3 pieces of gold. You can then sprint and jump across a gap to get 3 more pieces of gold. Clamber up the left side wall, and then you'll find another like 5 pieces of gold. Entering into the next room, before you grab the life sigil, look to your right hand side. Here you'll find 2 stacks of 8 gold each, so 16 total. We'll grab both of those. And grab the life sigil if you're not maxed out. And now we can head towards this kind of point of no return. I will open up the auto map here. We're at 3 out of 6 secrets, 111 out of 212 gold. And then we can continue forward by dropping down. Once we drop down, we'll have a arena section, which lasts about a minute. There's a couple of invisible enemies I highly recommend stunning with your shield throw, and shield charges for all of the fodder. As soon as you're done with this arena, the exit door will open up, and you will grab your first ruby collectible as a part of the main storyline. You really can't miss it. This is an upgrade currency, but I'll talk about it once we get there. So as you approach your mission marker here to your left, you'll notice this statue with it, which is holding a ruby. A ruby is similar to gold, but it is necessary for certain upgrades in the upgrade tree once you do reach a Sentinel shrine. Obviously, further on in the game, these will be a lot harder, and some rubies are even locked behind puzzles. But once you grab the ruby, go ahead and jump in the hole and into the next room, locating a drop pod in front of you, and if you interact with that drop pod, you'll get your next weapon of the game. This is the Impaler, probably my least favorite weapon, to be honest. It's a precision weapon that works at a long distance. It does have a lot of drop-off when you're shooting it, so you'll need to aim a lot higher, but it can do an incredible amount of damage when landing a headshot. Now, if you missed this in the tutorial, this weapon is the second weapon in the railgun class of weapons. So you can actually press X, and this will go between the Impaler and the Shredder back and forth. So both of those weapons take up the same weapon slot and use the same ammo type, although they use the ammo type in a slightly different way. So you can always switch back between the Shredder and the Impaler kind of on the fly, and that's why you may notice that one of them stopped appearing in your weapon wheel. but I'm not going to use the Impaler very much during the gameplay. It can be an effective weapon, like I said, against certain bosses, but I think most of the time it's just not fun for me personally. Go ahead and take out a bunch of these Pinky Riders. Completing this arena opens up a door to the next area, and as soon as you enter that next area, you'll have a shrine directly in front of you. So I recommend investing some of this 271 gold that I have into a couple of upgrades. So let's go ahead and interact with the shrine, and the first upgrade I'll buy is for the Shredder. This is going to cost me 75, and this will allow me to unlock, I believe, the pin cushion upgrade. I'll also buy the upgrade for the Plasma Accelerator. It's something I thought I would end up using a little bit more. And I'm also going to buy the upgrade for the Pulverizer, which is just a fun weapon to use. You can also use your Ruby for another upgrade. I end up not using the Ruby right away, but there's really no good reason not to just use the Ruby on a weapon that you like. From here, we can then proceed following the main path here. We'll have to throw our shield towards this green grapple point. You will be able to push the box from the back. It'll sit on a small switch that'll activate a little push pad. That push pad will allow us to jump up towards our objective. From this objective, let's go ahead and take out some enemies, moving towards our next marker. Obviously, from a far distance here, we can use our shield charge to do a lot of damage.
Marking Slayer's hut now.
Now, after the flying skulls, you can jump across the bridge gap, but you don't have to. But if you look to your left, you can do a kind of sprint jump to a ledge. This jump's a little bit harder and not the actual way you're supposed to get here, but it's still pretty easy if you sprint jump. You'll find 5 pieces of gold, and then you'll be able to clamber up a wall. As soon as you clamber up that wall, it should reveal a secret area. And if you push forward and then clamber up the left and clamber up again, and here you will find a life sigil, which isn't very useful for us, but if you are dying a couple of times, then you might be able to pick that up. And now we can circle back to the bridge, jump across the bridge using the little grapple point. There will be a bunch of shield enemies, a couple of mancubi, and a couple of shielded enemies that are not just the regular shield enemies. So let's go ahead and put everything we've learned to the test here by knocking off shields, stunning the Mancubus. I will do a 3-hit melee combo just in case. This is a good opportunity to work on that if you don't already have it. And I believe there is a kind of mini-boss that spawns near the end of this. So the leader enemy that spawns near the end of the fight is this shielded Mancubus, obviously, because it's shielded. Let's work on parries. Let's work on using the Shredder, for example, to make those shields glow super hot. This one will unlock a permanent upgrade for us in terms of armor, I believe, which will just allow us to have 60 armor instead of 50 armor. And, you know, this one's going to take a lot of health, and you can't stun it with your shield. But I do like the incendiary upgrade from the shotgun to light it on fire, just be able to generate some extra health for yourself as well. And then finish it off to grab that demonic essence. After that, just do a quick sweep of the area and move towards the objective marker. Once you reach the objective marker, an invisible enemy will spawn. Always use your shield throw ability to stun lock an invisible enemy. Then you'll have to jump across and land onto the small bridge in front of you. As soon as you land, turn around 180 degrees and jump down a ledge behind you. This will allow us to find a secret. This secret, there are a few small pieces of gold on your right-hand side as you land. I believe it's 7 or 8 of them. There will be a couple more invisible enemies. There's also some fireballs coming out of the wall that will damage you pretty aggressively if you're not careful. And there, I believe, are 2 invisible enemies. So just take your time. And then once they're taken out, I believe the fireballs that come out of the wall stop once the enemies are dead. Don't quote me on that. But then clamber up the wall and run towards, just from the opposite end of where we entered. As we get up onto this ledge, we'll find a cultist circle. Take it out if you want. There's some extra ammo in the corner as well. You'll get the secret area, which has a very useful ruby that we can use to upgrade one of our weapons later. And then as we come around the corner back towards where we kind of started, you'll find a couple more pieces of gold. I believe there's 4 small pieces and then a larger 8-chunk piece as well. We are at 136 out of 150 for the Plunderer, and we are at 1 out of 3 collectibles in the bottom right-hand corner there. But there's a couple more just around this corner. Head down the bridge. There is a collectible pretty much directly in front of us, but the enemies attack you so much that it's not worth getting until you've taken them out. So drop down to the left and take out all of the enemies. With the enemies taken care of, let's go ahead and go to the bridge that we kind of came from once we entered this area. Instead of going down and to the left, just next to this kind of large cylindrical tower, head using the path to the right-hand side, up a spiral staircase, and into that tower. There will be 2 invisible enemies in here, which you'll want to take care of. They can obviously hit you pretty hard and do a lot of damage. It's not worth losing too much of your health here. But if you take both of them out, using the Ignite and the Shield, you'll just keep building ammo, armor, health. And as soon as you're inside here, you can unlock the chest by meleeing it. The chest will also complete the Plunderer challenge. And we can now move forward using a shield charge into the next fight. Once you reach this courtyard and these skulls attack you, take care of them, and instead of moving forward, there's another little collectible and secret location here. I'll open up the map real quick just to give you just to show you where I am. But if you head around this tower, you'll pick up a couple pieces of gold on the stairs up on your way here. And then as you turn the corner, you will find a secret area interacting with the sphere in order to get a weapon skin for the Accelerator. I believe it's the Nightmare version. Not my favorite version, but there are Revenant weapon skins coming up later that are a lot cooler looking. Let's go ahead and end up into the next battle. You may have a shield ability that helps you with some of these shielded plasma enemies, but if not, you can use your Accelerator and then make quick work of everything else. Now, just around the corner is basically the end of the mission. You'll come to this courtyard with this huge statue in the middle. Do not progress to the objective marker. It ends the mission. On the far end from where we entered, there's 2 little carts, and if you blow them up, you will find stacks of gold underneath them. So make sure you grab those, and then come down these steps, and instead of going through the gate in front of you, look to your left. Once you're going to your left, you'll find a small path, 5 pieces of gold, and then those end in a Codex page. With that Codex page found and everything else, we can now move to this door in front of us. There is also a Sentinel shrine to the left of it that we'll use and interact with before we move forward. I'm going to use a ruby on the Shredder. You can use it on the Pulverizer if you want, if you find that you're using that weapon more often. And then I'll also upgrade my base shield to have the Power Surge ability. And that'll leave me with 97 gold, not enough to do anything else. Doing a quick check, we're at 6 out of 6 secrets, and we have all of the available resources. We've also done all 3 of the mission challenges, so we can now go through the gate, and there is a kind of more harder boss battle to end off this mission. This is a Vagary champion, which has gold armor. You'll have to use parries and different attacks in order to stun it. And then once you stun it, you'll be able to actually do significant damage to the health bar. So all you want to do is stay out of the toxic pools it puts on the ground. I'm not doing a very good job at doing that. And then you'll want to parry the green attacks as they come to you, building up that purple meter underneath their health bar. You will be doing some minor health damage to them as well. When you stun them, I'd highly recommend trying to just use a melee combo against them. I found that that's probably the fastest way to damage their actual health and make the quickest work possible of this boss. I'm also going to use that pin cushion ability. So I'm using the Shredder, and as I use the Shredder, the enemy will glow kind of yellow, and then I'll be able to use my shield saw in order to basically pop the yellow effect, doing a little bit of extra damage. But the boss is pretty simple, to be honest. There's no other enemies in the arena. It's kind of just a one-on-one, and the only thing that'll damage you is the toxic pools on the ground. Finishing off the boss doesn't really do anything in particular, but it does start a cutscene which you can skip to get the chapter complete screen, making sure you have the 100% complete as I've shown everything, and then move on to the next one. Thanks for watching. Hope the video was helpful. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. I'll see you soon. Peace.